Welcome to the Child Care Director's Chair, the podcast for bold educators who are ready to lead, grow, and shake things up in early childhood education. Whether you're a teacher eyeing that lead role, a lead stepping into leadership, or a center owner dreaming big, this is your space to grow with purpose and leave your mark. Hosted by heart-centered leadership coach Erica Saccoccio, each episode brings you real talk, actionable tools, and a contagious laugh or two, all designed to help you step into your next level with confidence. So pour your coffee, pop in those earbuds, and take your seat, because your leadership journey starts right now in the Child Care Director's Chair.
Happy New Year, my friends. Can you feel it? There is something about a fresh start. That calendar flips and the energy is new, and we've got a chance to leave old habits behind. And this year, I want to challenge you to stop letting fear and avoidance rule your leadership. No more sweeping problems under the rug. No more hoping difficult situations will magically fix themselves. If you're ready to unlock your program's potential, it starts with having conversations you've been avoiding. These conversations can really feel uncomfortable, awkward, and sometimes even scary. But avoiding them is costing your program its growth, your team its trust, and your authority as a leader. And today we're going to go deep into identifying the conversations that matter most, how to handle toxic behaviors before they spread, and leading into discomfort strategically and turning difficult talks into real, lasting growth for your program. Leadership habits can make or break your program, and too often we slide into patterns of avoidance. We think that if we keep things easy, everything will work out. But the truth is, avoidance allows toxic behaviors to fester. It sends a message that bad behavior is okay, and that mediocrity is acceptable, and that your team is on their own when it comes to managing conflicts. It's a new year, and it's a perfect time to break those bad habits. And the good news is you already have what it takes to have those tough conversations, even if they scare you. What you need is structure, courage, and a little bit of practice, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. First, you want to identify the conversations that you've been avoiding. Start asking yourself, what's the conversation you've been avoiding because it's uncomfortable, but you know it's holding your program back? And it could be a staff member who constantly undermines your policies, spreads negativity, and complains incessantly. Or a parent who's dismissive, rude, or refuses to follow your guidelines. Or maybe a colleague who isn't aligned with your mission and is quietly sabotaging your progress. Or even an internal conversation about how you're showing up as a leader. Here's the key. Avoiding these conversations is like giving permission for the bad behavior to continue. I've seen it in programs where one toxic staff member left unchecked caused tension, lowered morale for the entire team. Other staff members are waiting for you to step in. They need clarity, they need boundaries, and leadership from you. Write down these 3 conversations and don't sugarcoat it. Name the toxic behavior, the person involved, and the impact it's having on your program. This isn't about confrontation for the sake of confrontation. It's about protecting your culture, your team, and your vision. And prepare with clarity and courage. Preparation is your bridge from fear to action. Here's how you approach it. Clarify your goal. What outcome do you want? What behavior do you want to change? What respect do you want for policies? What alignment with your values? Gather the facts and examples. Document instances of behavior, patterns, and impact on your team. And create concrete examples, because that will help you prevent defensiveness and create credibility. And just use plain natural language. Natural statements like, I've noticed blank, or I'm concerned about blank. Keep the focus on growth, not blame. And choose your timing carefully. Avoid high-stress moments or when emotions are already heightened. Privacy and timing make the difference between a resolution and an escalation. And anticipate resistance, because some people will push back. Some will either deny or deflect. Plan how you'll stay calm, how you'll set boundaries, and redirect the conversation to the facts in the outcome you want. Let me tell you a story. I once had a staff member who constantly spread negative energy, criticized coworkers behind their backs, and created tension in the classroom. This has happened more than once. Other staff were frustrated but hesitant to speak up. They were waiting for me to intervene. I prepared a conversation, I gathered clear examples, and set the expectation for professional behavior. The conversation was uncomfortable, yes, but it was necessary. And the toxic patterns didn't stop overnight, but over time, accountability and boundaries shifted the culture more positively. And lean into discomfort. Discomfort is the price of growth. And every time you avoid a difficult conversation, the behavior you are ignoring is allowed to continue, and your authority erodes. So, leaning in shows courage. It demonstrates that your standards are non-negotiable. And it signals to your team that you won't tolerate behaviors that undermine the program and empower staff to feel safe and supported in doing their best work. I can remember a time when I had to address a parent who repeatedly disregarded our policies and disrespected staff. It was awkward, it was tense, and I worried about confrontation. But leaning in and addressing it directly set boundaries, reinforced expectations, and prevented a larger problem from spreading. The staff felt supported, and the parent ultimately respected the clarity we provided. And turned conversations into growth. Having the conversation is just the first step. The real power is in turning discomfort into growth for your team, your program, and yourself. Ask yourself, how will this conversation improve the team's performance or culture? What support does this person need to meet expectations? And how will I follow up to ensure accountability? With toxic staff or reoccurring issues, the key isn't just calling out the behavior, it's about creating a roadmap for improvement and setting clear consequences if patterns continue. Your goal isn't to win, it's to protect your culture, to elevate your standards, and grow your team's capacity. The conversation isn't always going to end when the door closes. Follow-up is critical. Checking in is important. Provide guidance, reinforce expectations. And for staff, toxic behavior left unchecked can continue to fester, lowering morale and productivity. So don't put your staff in that position. For parents or colleagues, lack of follow-up can signal that bad behavior is tolerated. So reflection is key. Think about what went well, what could you do differently next time, and how did this impact your team, the program, or my leadership presence? By reflecting and following up, you strengthen your skill in managing tough situations and reinforcing the culture of accountability. And that keeps your program thriving. So this year, let's make a commitment. We will not continue with bad leadership. No more avoidance, no more silent frustration. Start having the conversation that you are crushing your program's potential. Think about the toxic behavior you've been tolerating or avoiding. What's one small, courageous step you can take this week to address it and protect your culture? If you're ready to step into 2026 differently, I want to invite you to join the Early Education Empowerment Conference held on May 7th, 8th, and 9th in Warwick, Rhode Island. Tickets are $2.99 for 3 days of leadership, connection, and strategy. And during January, we're offering a buy one, get one free, so you can bring a friend or a colleague. So step off the hamster wheel, invest in yourself, and start this year leading with courage, clarity, and impact. It's a new year, and it's time to break those old habits. The conversations you've been avoiding, especially the tough ones, with toxic staff, challenging parents, or misaligned colleagues. These are not just obstacles, they're actually opportunities. So start small, prepare and lean in, and don't forget to follow up. And watch what happens when you stop avoiding, protect your culture, and start leading with courage and clarity. It's going to be a new day, folks. So welcome to 2026. Thank you, as always, for tuning into the Child Care Director Share podcast. Let us know what you think about today's episode. And if you think somebody needs to hear this, feel free to share it with a friend. That's all for today.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Child Care Director's Chair, where we believe leaders aren't born, they're grown. If something sparked for you today, share it, shout it out, or pass it along to the next bold changemaker in childcare. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and stay connected with Erica Saccoccio for more real talk leadership tools and a whole lot of inspiration. Until next time, lead with heart, grow with fire, and always remember, the chair is yours. Now own it.